Mr. Josine. Welcome to today's episode where we're going to tackle a big question. Does exposure to violent media make children more violent? Joining me here today is a very special guest, Dr. Manzano, a child psychologist with extensive experience in media influences on behavior.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. This is definitely an important topic, especially in today's media-saturated world.
Before we dive in, I have to ask you an important question. You look like quite the classy gal. Have you ever rage quit a game where you dramatically turn off the console and give up entirely?
Oh, absolutely. One time, I lost a game of Mario Kart to my little brother. I had to take a long walk afterwards to reflect on my life choices.
That's rough. Nothing humbles you quite like getting hit by a blue shell at the finish line.
Exactly. And that's why we need to talk about how media influences behavior, so kids don't grow up thinking throwing controllers is a valid coping mechanism.
All right, let's start with the basics. There's been an ongoing debate about violent media and aggressive behavior in children. What does the research say?
Research over the past few decades indicates a significant association between exposure to violent media and increased aggression in children. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Adolescent Health found that early exposure to media violence predicts increased aggressiveness even 22 years into adulthood.
22 years! So, what you're saying is, if little Timmy spends his childhood playing violent video games nonstop, he might grow up thinking trash talking and throwing chairs are acceptable conflict resolutions?
Essentially, yes. The study suggests the impact isn't just immediate, but it can have long-term effect on an individual's likelihood of aggressive behavior.
However, not all studies agree. For example, research from McKendree University analyzed the effects of violent video games on students and found no significant increase in aggression among players compared to non-players. So maybe not every kid who plays Call of Duty is training for World War III.
That is correct. The relationship between violence and aggression isn't as simple as play one game, start a bar fight. Other factors like personality traits, environment, and parental guidance play crucial roles.
Right, so if little Timmy plays a violent video game but has parents who teach him kindness, respect, and how to properly lose a Monopoly game without flipping the board, he'll probably be alright.
Exactly. Context matters. The American Psychological Association has also found a desensitizing effect, meaning repeated exposure to violent media can make children less sensitive to violence and more likely to see aggression as a normal problem-solving strategy.
Okay. So basically, the more they see fictional characters solving problems with punches, the more likely they're to think it's a valid life skill, like math, but with more broken furniture.
That's one way to put it.
This is what TikTok has to say about the matter.
Games like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto make my child violent. As a child's therapist who specialises in technology, it's a common question I get asked. So let's talk about violent video games. The biggest issue is that word violence. It's a spectrum. Is Mario violent because he jumps on top of people to hurt them? How violent is Minecraft when you're stabbing people with swords? And is shooting people in Fortnite the same as shooting people in Grand Theft Auto? Research suggests violent video games can increase levels of aggression, not just in kids. But this shouldn't be a surprise. Humans are influenced by lots of things that they see. I remember when the Rocky films first came out in the cinemas, showing my age there, people were fighting in the cinemas. So should you let your child play these games? PEGI ratings exist for a reason and are usually a good guide on what's age appropriate. But a huge issue is that with social media and Twitch, even if your child isn't playing the game at home, they're probably able to watch other people play the game, which gets into messy territory. Is there a difference between just watching somebody play a violent game versus playing it yourself? We certainly need more robust research on this area. An important thing to think about is that violence, sadly, is part of our lives, and building a healthy relationship with experiences around violence and aggression is more important for children to learn, and that comes down to your parenting. If you do see that your child gets more aggressive when playing video games and want some advice, I made a video about that you can watch on my page. So
this is what YouTube has to say about this topic.
Today's topic, the effects of media violence. With the recent political riots in 2021, you may be wondering what the effects of media violence are on people, from children to adults. Some have argued that media violence has no effects on viewers' behaviors. Others believe that viewing media violence actually has a cathartic effect that decreases viewers' violent tendencies out there in the world. However, in social psychology, research on observational learning has generally shown that viewing media violence actually increases aggression. aggression because it provides viewers with models for aggressive behaviors. Psychologists and researchers led by Raul Guzman conducted a study on the link between children's exposure to TV violence and their aggressive and violent behavior in young adulthood. The study found that the extent to which children watch violent TV shows predicted their criminality and aggressiveness as adults. Other studies have found evidence that media violence affects everyone's attitudes and behaviors. For instance, frequent viewing of media violence leads to a tendency to judge aggressive retaliation as a positive thing. So what does this mean? The more violent media content children watch, the more aggressive they may become. Media violence can slowly change your attitude on aggression or physical retaliation. To summarize, the effects of media violence are real and serious. You may want to be careful about what you watch and how much media coverage of violent events you consume.
So, given all this, what can parents do to navigate violent media in a healthy way?
Awareness and proactive engagement are key. Parents should monitor content with clear guidelines and have discussions with their children to make sure they know the difference between media portrays and real-life consequences.
So less do as I say and more, let's talk about why Batman's method of handling criminals wouldn't work so well in real life.
Exactly. Real-life consequences don't come with dramatic music and a sequel.
Well, unless you count court dates. In summary, while there's evidence suggesting a link between violent media and aggression, it's a complex issue with many influencing factors. The key is balance, awareness, and maybe making sure your kid plays Minecraft every so often instead of Mortal Kombat.
Precisely. It's about guiding children to engage with media responsibly while recognizing that their environment and upbringing shape how they interpret it. Hi, it's Dr. Manzano here, and today I have a special guest. This is Tony. He is an adolescent who frequently plays video games and likes to engage in all that violence during the media. So, Tony, let's ask you a question. What is your favorite video game right now? Fortnite. And what do you do in Fortnite?
I play with my friends. I play Battle Royale.
Okay. And what is Fortnite? What do you do in Fortnite?
It's like a gun game. You try to kill people and try to get the win.
Okay. And does playing Fortnite scare you?
No.
Does it make you feel like you want to be dangerous to people in real life?
No.
No? Do you think that video games, playing Fortnite and shooting people with fake guns and all that stuff, does that make you become a mean person?
No.
No? You don't think it affects you? No? Do you think it's okay for people that young to play video games like that?
No. Except like five until like 5 or under.
That's not okay to play?
Yeah, that's not okay.
Do you think some people who play video games like that become mean and become dangerous?
No.
No? You don't think playing video games will affect your future?
No.
No? Okay. So, that's all the questions I had for you. Thank you for being part of this interview. You did such a good job. So, thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Dr. Manzano, for breaking it all down for us. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Remember, media can influence us, but so can parenting, education, and most importantly, losing a board game with grace. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time. The slide, yeah. How to properly lose a monopoly.
Context matters. American psychological. Wait, how do you say it? Sensitizing people.
Yeah. What am I reading? Insert video. So,
Wait,
given...
hold on, I was itching my head. Violent media. Oh. Right?
Yeah, proactive.
Guidelines and have discussions with clear guidelines and have...
Parents should monitor content with clear guidelines and have discussions with their children to make sure they know the difference between media. Okay. Let's talk about... So now, every often. Okay.
Responsibility. Responsibly. Okay. What did I just say?
Oh, we forgot. Yeah, I know. But I think we can just add that. What's up, Mr. Josine?